You got it, period. Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Tuesday, March 17, St. Patty's Day, year of our Lord 20 and 26. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he, broadcasting today from the United States of America. I can prove it because we're going to celebrate a great day for one of the ethnicities that made this country great, the Irish. It's also the place for the brave. Like the veterans we salute today, not all Irish, but we lost them this year and we celebrate them today thanks to our man John Basiliga and his great Serenity Care. Charles Free of Kingston. Henry Hank Platt, late of Connecticut, but he was from Waverly. James Casso, Hazleton. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, amazing, irreplaceable founding fathers that government is not, shall not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups. It couldn't be controlled by government or government officials because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and even freedom of the press, no matter what they do with it. Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because they had them, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. Get it? Freedom equals greatness. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro show will always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. Oh, let's see. I got a wire in the way here. You want the real sound of that sound block and gavel as we gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. And we do promise you, our commitment to common sense is so ironclad. It is so substantial. It is so central to everything we do on the program that we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you in a world where we've got a political party, the Democrats, that has literally gone insane with some voices, lonely voices in the Democrat Party being normal and the rest being insane. And I count Bill Maher among them for many, many things. That's why we played him. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? You think about it. And he lays it out without fear or favor. And I know there'll be some opinion that I think he's crazy about later on. But in the main, see, that's what we used to argue about. Sane things where people could have legitimate differences, not where you lie and you base your opinions on lies. That's today's Democrat Party. Everything is based on lies. Affordability, well, it's based on lies. You guys caused the problem with your Green New Deal and wild spending. And somehow it's Trump's problem because you're liars. Doesn't matter what it is. Iran, an emergent and immediate danger to the world, not just to the United States. And they were getting to the point, and we could see it. We're getting to the point where you wouldn't be able to do anything about it without grievous losses. And God forbid they got a nuclear weapon. Their intent in obtaining nuclear technology, a nuclear weapon, was to use it. They said so. Bring back the 12th Imam. Again, people walking around like blind men without canes, and that's probably an insult to blind men without canes, taking positions that are literally the opposite of that which is true. And it's not all Trump derangement syndrome. These people are mentally ill on their own. They truly are. And it's sad because you can't have conversations. You can't have a normal conversation. Like, please, are you really going to tell me you either hate Trump so much or you're so blind and stupid that you don't think Iran was a pressing, immediate threat? I mean, it's nuts. And that's what we've got to... How do you have an argument with someone, a sensible discussion, a sensible back and forth with someone who's mentally ill? Take Chuck Schumer. Take Hakeem Jeffries. Take any one of them. It's absolutely crazy. From Rich McHale, he says, morning, Bob. Today I'd like to name a new award, the Jane Fonda Award for Stupidity and Treason. The first award goes to The Morning Show. And I love them, but my gosh, to talk about confused and ignorant, and it's just scary. It truly is. You just say, are you really? We're like clean up on aisle 6 after they get through with politics. But they're nice people. They're good people. Just very confused. And again, it goes back to a willful ignorance that I don't understand. I don't understand the benefit. All right, I hate Donald Trump. Okay, whatever. That's fine. In fact, it's legitimate. He's what they call a ball buster. That's what he does all the time. So, okay, I hate Donald Trump. Well, okay, what does that have to do with what he does? Almost nothing. Except your reaction to how he does it or what he says when he's doing something. So you now have, what is it, about a month shut down of the DHS by these idiot Democrats? It's so stupid you can't even make it up. For what? To blackmail the Republican Party and the White House into getting rid of ICE? And I've seen these things. They ask the idiots who are being paid to protest, well, what would you do without ICE? Would you just let anybody, and they've got no answer. And then we've played the clips of people, okay, would you have them in your house? Okay, take them in your house. Good. You'll take illegal immigrants. Now listen, there's a little bit of a problem here. This particular illegal was a child molester. You'll take him in the house though, right? You're protesting for him. You're protesting to keep him here. It's pure lunacy. There's literally nothing, there's no redeeming value in the platform of today's Democrat Party and their adherents. Literally none. It's childish emotion which leads you nowhere logically. Scary. But there are voices. I talked to you about David Boies, the very liberal attorney. His headline, the op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, partisanship on Iran is dangerous. And I remind you again, he was a lawyer for the Epstein victims. Well, he's certainly not siding with Donald Trump if Donald Trump was involved in that. We had some clown, and by the way, not just one, some unnamed clown saying, oh, Trump only attacked Iran not because they had a nuclear weapon, not because they were an imminent threat to all our partners in the Middle East and the world economy, not because they were possibly weeks away from obtaining creating a nuclear weapon and using it. None of that. But because of the Epstein. I mean, it's so stupid. Bill Clinton just said under oath, not that that means much to him, just said under oath Donald Trump had nothing to do with, never had any involvement with his shenanigans, meaning Epstein. Quite amazing. Somebody says you have different points of view. No reason to call Nancy and Jason stupid and confused. Anyone who takes that position is stupid and confused. I'm sorry. There's no what. All right. Look, we could go case by case, issue by issue. Now, willfully stupid is different than stupid. I'm not calling them stupid people. And by the way, the least of the examples. Chuck Schumer, go through the whole Democrat caucus of the Senate and the House. It's insane. The Green New Deal. If you looked at it for 10 minutes, you would realize battery-powered cars, which is everybody's right, buy it if you want. They're beautiful. Teslas, it's an amazing vehicle. I drove an electric car. It was beautiful. But net, they are worse for the environment. And that was their big solution. And one of the fools at General Motors displaying the battery-powered cars said, where does the power come from? Not knowing it's over 20% from coal that they hate. Where's the power coverage? She goes, oh, in that building here. It's insane, people. Please, you can't tell me it's not stupidity and confusion over fact, truth, and reality. It's total divorcement from those things. And it's a lack of self-awareness. No, I mean, we're done with the gentle, oh, well, you know, it's just a different point of view. No. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Everything's not relative. Everything is not relative. Stupid is stupid. Wrong is wrong. Period. Done. And I'd love to have the discussion, but just a sensible discussion, not yelling and screaming, asking questions of lefties and delving into their feelings, because that's all they are. It's childish feelings. It's not sense. It's not logic. It's not truth. It's not based on any facts. It's childishness. And with that, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. Mull of Kintyre. St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, the Bob Cordaro Show. Murph's got a special list for us. Bob Cordaro with you on the program. And a couple of texts. On a completely different note, somebody says, but the same idiotic left, mandating electric school buses, NBC 10 out of Rochester, New York, Naples Central School District, diesel buses, 36 cents a mile, electric, $3.18 a mile, and they don't work below 20 degrees. I swear these people are brain dead, and the Iran attack is to cover up the Epstein files. The stupidity is astounding. Yep. On the other side, somebody says, good morning. Do you ever tire of being a blowhard? I never tire of telling the truth. I never tire of fact, truth, and reality. Why you do, I don't know. Why it irritates you. By the way, some of these people are the same people that think that the American flag is triggering. That's the kind of insanity we have here. They were angry with the U.S. hockey team for going to the White House. This is the mentality. It's insanity. They really got to go. I said this yesterday. Go to your mirror. Do it in your bathroom. Do it privately. And just start slapping yourself until you wake up. It really would help, I think. Somebody says, I don't know about stupid and confused, but the morning show does only know how to take any story or issue and turn it into doom and gloom unless the people involved have a D next to their name. Sadly, can't do more than 30 seconds of their show. And I don't get it. I really, and again, what are you getting out of it? What benefit is there to base your opinions on lies? Oh, Joe Biden is, he's perfectly capable of being the president. He's sharp as a tack. This is the sharpest Joe Biden ever. Why would you ever listen to the people who say this again? I don't get it. Somebody says, Bob, I think you're downplaying the emotion of hatred. There is such a thing as dislike. This is far beyond that. It's to the core. It affects judgment and reason. Worse than that, their hate is not limited to Trump. They hate all those who disagree with them. Some even hate this country. Many, many. They hate it when they're not running it in their own insane way. You're right. The listener continues, their irrational behavior fueled by hate will burn this nation down. Well, it's our job to prevent it, even for their own benefit. The LTS back at you. Good morning, Bob. Poet Joe, over the long run, which takes about 7-8 years, electric does emit less than gasoline. Poet Joe, the cars don't last that long. And then you don't know what to do with the battery. Don't forget about that. And a percentage of them are going to catch on fire that you can't put out. You're forgetting about that. There is no long run with today's battery-powered cars. And the other thing that they ignore completely, which I brought up in the past, they did a study on the treads of tires. Substantial pollution from the treads of tires. What are they made from? Oil. Interesting. So no, Joe. And he's not expounding on battery-powered cars. He doesn't want to sit 2 hours and charge my batteries. But in the long run, electric does emit less. No, it doesn't, Joe. It doesn't. And you're forgetting about the construction of the car. We've been through this. It's a lie. They're not horrible. They're not so bad for the environment they shouldn't be made. And as I told you, they're great vehicles, but they are not better for the environment. Net, they're worse. And I don't know about you, Poet Joe, although you may make money on your poetry. I can't afford to have 2 cars. Can't do it. Somebody said Bob News Alert St. Patrick was Italian It's Santo Pasquale. We love LDS. No. No, don't say that. And by the way, I know there's all those things. They say, well, his ethnicity, whatever. You hear both sides, and listen, we've got Columbus, and we better hang on to him, by the way. Italians have Columbus. My kids are Irish, part Irish. So let's give them their day. All right? And it's a great day. The parades. And today, I was violently ill yesterday. So I'm not going to do. We were going to start a new St. Patrick's Day tradition. And I just saying, no, not after how I was yesterday. So I said, who knows what'll happen? So I'm not getting into the St. Patrick's Day the way I want to, but it's nevertheless we'll do it from I don't know what standpoint you call it, but we'll do it from a sober standpoint, just enjoying the feeling. Let's do that. And let's take a break. Listen to our great sponsors, and then we'll come back with our Veterans Tribute, our weather, and more. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Brought to you by a true patriot and someone who has done as much for this area as anybody I know, John Basiliga. Today we feature one of his great companies, and it is an amazing company, Serenity Care, personal care community. The gold standard in Northeast Pennsylvania for senior care. They've got 4 locations. In the mid-valley of Lackawanna County, Jessup. Some say Peckville. Old Forge, Wyoming, Kingston. John has a passion for providing the highest quality senior care in the area and beautiful personal care homes for seniors to live in. And in that regard, all 4 of these personal care locations completely renovated inside and out and accepting new residents. Dementia care units at the Mid-Valley and Kingston locations. Serenity Care personal care community, the best in Northeast PA. Charles Free. We lost him March 8th at age 92. He was from Kingston. Born in Jersey City, New Jersey. A member of St. Monica's Parish in West Wyoming. Graduate of Jersey City State College, earning a bachelor's degree in education. He went on to earn his master's degree as well. Proud veteran, Charles honorably served his country with the United States Marine Corps during the Korean War. Prior to retirement, he served us even more, employed by the Jersey City Police Force, attaining the rank of sergeant. In the 50s and early 60s, he played semi-pro baseball for the Jersey City Automac Anchors, receiving multiple invitations from scouts of the New York Giants. But he refused to all the offers because he didn't want to miss precious time with his wife and children. Charles was preceded in death by his beloved wife, Lorraine Scavone Free, who passed away in 2016. Tragically, he also lost his son, Richard Free, back in 2025, September 2nd. Surviving, his son, Michael, and his spouse, Springbrook Township, his brother, sister, nieces, nephews, and longtime companion, Marlene Dick. Charles Free, teacher, cop, Marine. Our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and his great Serenity Care personal care community. Well, I got the AccuWeather forecast, although I heard our guy Joe Snedeker on this morning. Today, cloudy, windy, much colder. Couple of snow showers this afternoon, high 34. Tonight, partly cloudy, 21. Tomorrow, some sunshine, that's Wednesday, giving way to clouds, high 38, low 29. Thursday, mostly cloudy, high 46, low 34. Friday, cloudy, high 53, low 36. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine might get up to 57, the low of 44. And that's your weather, brought to you by our friends on Montage Mountain. And they are transitioning to spring, but I think there's a little more winter left. We're going to talk to Tyler Crawford about all of that because we love Montage. Montage means, well, it means the weather and it means fun. That's what it means to me. And I hope it does to you. We'll take this moment. I didn't send you anything? All right, the Bulldog. Now, one of my favorite Irish songs, the Dropkick Murphys. I fell in love with this as part of The Departed, that great movie with Jack Nicholson. It's one of those songs. When I was in prison and going around the track, I would just play it maybe 5 times in a row. Well, we got a totally different song we have to play now. And you know what that is and what that means. It means it's our friend Angelutz from Madisonville. Angelo, how are you, brother?
Buongiorno, buongiorno. Hey, we got Marco Polo, we got Leonardo da Vinci, and Columbus. We got them guys too.
That's right. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good. We don't need to try to take St. Patrick.
No, God bless St. Patrick. By the way, happy St. Patrick's Day. LTS, good show.
LTS back at you, brother.
Yeah, I'm all fired up. I could almost walk pretty good today listening to you. I'll tell you what. Oh, mannaggia, let me tell you something. I love Nancy, okay? Back in 2020, I needed help, and she immediately went to work and got me help, and I'm forever grateful. I'll tell you what, I don't want to hear nobody mess with my girl there. She's the best.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you can't get a better person. Jason, he's cool too, but here's the deal. Whether you love somebody or hate somebody, especially our president, Donald Trump, you got to respect him. Whether you like him or not, he has to do what he has to do, and that's all that's to it. I mean, what can we do? Like, okay, let's do nothing and let everybody invade us, and then we'll have martial law, and then we'll be fighting. You know what I mean? Pay attention to what's going on, people out there that don't have a clue. Just listen to Bob, and he'll tell you what to do. So here's the deal.
Well, and you know what? I've got no special claim on truth or wisdom. It's just obvious.
Yes, you do. You're from Dunmore like me. Come on. Come on. I'll tell you something. We missed you at the VFW Saturday. I know you were busy and everything, but I met a guy. I got there at 6 o'clock. I went, make holy the Sabbath.
Now tell us which VFW this is, just for people to know.
Oh, this is Daleville, man.
Yeah,
this is
we got to know that.
Township. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, I missed the girls playing. I missed different things, but I got there at 6 o'clock. And the guy goes, "Where the heck were you? You missed everything." I said, "Well, I had to make holy the Sabbath." He busted out laughing. He said, "Sure you did." Yeah, okay, come on, buddy. Let's not go there. Go have a drink and enjoy yourself, right? So there's a guy that come up to me. He said to say hello to you. Do you think I can remember his name? Absolutely not. But he was in school with you. He used to have fun with you during lunchtime, and you had one assignment, was to tell me who that was, and you didn't get it done, Angelo. I know, buddy. I have to write names down. I could see somebody, and I don't see for 1,000 years. But you know what? I can never remember the name. A girl came up to me. She says, "You don't remember me, do you?" I said, "I absolutely do, but don't ask me what your name is." You know what I mean? and I could tell you where I met you, how I met you, when you slapped me in the face. I could tell you everything you want to know about it, but I can't remember names, Bob. I can't help it. You know what I mean? I won't forget your name or Nancy's name. There's names I just, sometimes I don't even remember my name. You know what I mean? There was certain names I was called growing up, But I'll tell you what, we had a good time. And believe it or not, there's people that go in there and they listen to you all the time. And they said, this guy, he should have been on the radio a long time ago. I said, well, he had his own radio station.
Well, I made the mistake of owning radio stations, and I should have just gone on the air.
Yeah. The thing is, they said, "Well, we listen to you, man. You're pretty good on that radio." I said, "No, I call in my friend and I talk, and I call in Nancy and Jason once in a while to say hi or text them." But I says, you want to learn something, turn it on at 6 o'clock and then shut it off at about 5. If you're working, I had security guards tell me that they used to ride around listening to everybody. You know what I mean? Because they had to patrol the area. You know what I mean?
Well, and as you know, to me, that's such a great honor. Somebody doing an important job listening to you at the same time, it's a big deal. It is.
Yeah, and they love the tribute.
Best part of the show. Best part of the show. Well, Angelo, that music means it's time we got to go because we got the Bloomberg
buddy.
Money Minute.
Okay.
Thank you, my friend.
Roma.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Angelo.
You too, buddy. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, brother. We love that. Angelo, we'll take a break and be back. Love it. The High Kings. Murph says that's them, and it's the Irish pub song. What what a great song. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK on this St. Patrick's Day as we head towards the top of the hour. Reminder, this hour brought to you by Tina Morocco. You look at this. If you saw the snow on the ground, you might want some relief. She is a global sales advisor, Sotheby's International Realty in Naples, Florida. You can find her there. Or you can go to tinamorocco.com, MURACCO.com. And you got to have a trusted friend if you're going to make that kind of investment or you're going to explore it. And Tina's the one. Not only for all of Florida, but she really focuses on Southwest Florida. But she's the place to start. Really, truly is, and she's great. And by the way, everybody I know that has used her, beyond pleased. And that's important. Trusting somebody with that kind of investment, that kind of a move, really significant. But we'll talk to her later today. Yeah, I hear that Irish music, and I'm saying to myself, I want to go and stop somewhere after the program, but then I go home, okay? I don't know if you guys have this situation. And Chauncey's home. And I see Chauncey, and I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to leave him. Do any of you have that issue? I mean, I love my home, too. But I go home, and I'm like, I can't leave Chauncey. You know? So it's always a dilemma, but so I could say, yeah, I want to go somewhere this afternoon, even though I was violently ill yesterday. But I'm betwixt and between. Because I sort of, I don't know. Again, I'll go home and I'm just not gonna want to leave Chauncey. Lee says he laughed really hard this morning watching the Liberal 16 News when they stated St. Patrick was a slave when they always tell us only African people were slaves. Anyway, and more on the electric car poet, Joe, checking in. He's acknowledging some of what I said. Somebody says, oh, Bob, and I forgot to mention, what do you do with the atomic waste? So you save one thing and could create another kinder trap. Here we go again. Yeah, well, they've got places to store atomic waste from nuclear power plants. So I don't know. You've got to have power. And by the way, I just want to remind you, I'm not against battery-powered cars. I'm against mandating battery-powered cars when they aren't any better for the environment. Somebody says, I'm part Irish, but the Irish rowdy music makes me think of a bunch of drunks hitting each other over their heads with clubs. Well, now, so far, you know, I'm trying to find out what's wrong with that. Somebody said, I think the song, and I'm guessing they're talking about shipping up to Boston. I didn't know it was in Boondock Saints. How about that? And I do love it. Somebody says, problem with the Democrats, they're not smart people. That's not true. See, that's what's most frustrating about it. So many of them are. They're very smart people. They refuse to use it, which makes it hard. It's harder to handle. They fail to research the issue before promoting it. That's for sure. Like Obamacare, we have to pass the bill before we read it. What's in it? And look what it's done to healthcare costs and health insurance in this country. Obamacare has been a disaster. Somebody says, Bob, you can play anybody today except the Dropkick Murphys. They're big-time Trump haters. I played them. I already played them. I don't want to say I don't care that they're Trump haters, but, you know, being stupid doesn't disqualify your music. Although Bruce Springsteen is banned because he went way beyond. He's an ass, and I'm not interested in hearing him, and neither is Murph. Anyway, somebody says, I heard from a church member that St. Patrick was a child who was born in Wales. He was taken to Ireland and enslaved there, got back to Wales, but as an adult went back to Ireland to help the people as an adult and stayed. He became St. Patrick. Now the listener says, parenthetically, hope this is factual. That's interesting. I'd never heard that before. But it, that has the ring of historical truth to it. Fascinating. Thank you for that. Anyway, we got to take a break because it's time for the news with Brian Hughes. In fact, it's past time. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:02 and change, which means I'm 2.5 minutes late. So let's do that, and then we'll come back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. great good morning, everyone. 10:08 a.m. on my Picardo Jewelers watch this beautiful Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patty's Day, year of our Lord 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Serenity Care personal care community, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John. Like Charles Free, Kingston, Hank Platt, late of Connecticut, but he was from Waverly and Glenburn. James Casso, Hazleton. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. And how do we continue it? Well, by gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our unwavering commitment to common sense is such that we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for you for the balance of the morning in a world that, I don't know, a certain percentage of leadership, the leadership of the Democrat Party has gone literally insane. And you could recite the issues over and over, and they've got adherents and followers who don't, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And they don't care. Somebody says, get a service dog harness for Chauncey. Then you could take him everywhere with you. I have a harness. Restaurants, grocery stores, the VFW. I have, no, but he's big. He's about 125 pounds. And he's a black brindle, so he's scary looking. And people get nervous, you know, and he'll jump on you to be friendly, not to attack you. He's a good watchdog also, but, you know, you've got to turn him on to do that. But no. Somebody said, Bob, you said when you go home you see the dog and don't want to leave him. But I never I never hear you say that about Cutie. How does Cutie feel about that, ALTS? Well, listen, don't try to start trouble. I miss Cutie too, but she's not home. She's working. So I'll go home. Chauncey, and by the way, if she was home, it'd be easier to leave because Chauncey'd have somebody to be with. I hate leaving him alone. Bob LTS every day. Do you remember when Joe Biden said there's going to be so many electric cars and chargers? You're going to be able to drive coast to coast on a single tank of gas? I know, Joe from West Side. He's such an embarrassing idiot. And by the way, prior to him losing his mind, somebody said EV technology, nothing new. They had him back in the early 1900s and brought him back in the 70s and 80s. And guess what they sucked back then, too? That's why they stopped making them. No, the cars are great. I'm telling you, I've driven a battery-powered car. Now, these are $100,000 cars. It should be great, right? And it was awesome. But I can't afford two cars, so that's it. And they're not convenient to have just the electric car, the battery power. Somebody said, Ken Casey of the Dropkick Murphy TDS makes Bruce Springsteen TDS look like a walk in the park. It's so bad, it makes the only way to justify it is he has to be being paid that way. I don't delve into these people, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that he's an idiot. I just love that one song. I don't follow them. I don't run around after them, but just the one song. And then it's St. Patrick's Day. Somebody else, Bob, can you imagine if there was no opposition to the Democrat Party and they enacted their insane policies like Biden was promoting on the American people? The entire world would collapse within 12 years. You're right. Thank God the jackass Biden is gone. The banner must go next. I'm with you. I am with you. I'm telling you, what a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Oh, My man Mark Wozniak says, Chauncey was down. I take him to the garage, especially when the doors could be open because we're smoking cigars. I don't want Chauncey subjected to that. But anyway, yeah, he didn't like our friend Kepik's dog. He was friendly. He loves dogs, but he didn't like Kepik's dog. Didn't like it at all. Mark Mayer's sending me something to play. It might be too late to get it in there. Elvin Bishop, Getting My Groove Back. All right. Is that Mark, is that an Irish song? Because we're only playing Irish songs. And Murph, understandably, he gets a little touchy when he's got a list. When he's got a list, and he works hard at it. So we don't like to adulterate the list. Somebody, my friend T. Bell texted in, this is sort of captures a lot of it. And it's from Matt Van Swal. And he says, just so we're all on the same page, there was never a housing problem. There was an illegal immigration problem. There was never a debt problem. There was a fraud problem. There was never a border problem. There was an enforcement problem. There was never a crime problem. There was a prosecution problem. There was never a homelessness problem. There was a fraudulent NGO problem. There was never a failing school system problem. There was an indoctrination problem. There was never a funding problem. There was a theft problem. There was never a healthcare affordability problem. There was an illegal alien freeload problem. There was never an American dream problem. There was a Democrat problem. I cannot disagree with any of it. And T. Bell, thank you for it. I just read it now, and it's good. It's something, and I don't understand. I'm, again, having a hard time understanding it. You realize where we were headed with Kamala Harris as the president? Or, God forbid, even worse, like, let's say Trump said, all right, enough. The prosecutions, the this, the that. Well, Mark Mayer says that the song is a dog song for Chauncey. Well, Chauncey's not Irish. He's a British dog. He's half British Bulldog, half Mastiff, English Mastiff, which makes him British. So, anyway, yeah. What an insane thing we would have been into here. Take every single problem. Now, Iran, their full intent was to grow too powerful and too bristling with weapons to be stopped. And Trump decided, and I've got to give him 1,000,000% credit. He was warned, hey, we don't know where they're at. We took out their one facility. We don't know where they're at in developing the weapon. We also know that China is trying to ship them hypersonic missiles, which will cause all kinds of problems with our Navy presence in the Mediterranean and the Gulf. And he could have waited till after the midterms because prosperity was kicking in under his programs. We were transitioning and had almost completed the transition from a government spending economy and government job creation to back to the private sector where it needs to be. Gas was going down, all of that. But he said, the hell with the politics, I got to do this. And he's right. He was right. Somebody asking, can I post the thing that I just read on Facebook? That was great. I might, if I figure out how to do it, I might be able to know how to do that. But yeah, it's crazy stuff, guys. I don't understand it. I want to understand. I seek I actually seek to understand where this mentality comes from and why. They won't answer you themselves, though. They'll just spout the same pap and waste your time. Oh, Trump is awful, blah, 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 whatever. Could we have an intelligent discussion? No, you can't, because they aren't using their intelligence. Yeah, the voter ID is Jim Crow 2.0. Okay, where do you go from there with someone stupid enough or brazen enough to say that? Where do you go? Nowhere, unfortunately. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back. That's the Gaelic Storm. Tell me, Ma. And before that, Jerry Adams, had the pleasure to meet him at the Friendly Sons dinner, I believe in 1995, the same year that he went to the White House. Sinn Féin leader Jerry Adams. And you know what? We also had, I think he was in the process of departing for New York City, Cardinal O'Connor, who was our bishop. And, oh, I loved that guy. Got to know him, loved him. And he was an amazing leader in New York. By the way, Cardinal Dolan, I didn't think he could top or equal Cardinal O'Connor, but Dolan did it. But Sinn Féin leader Jerry Adams, and then the Gaelic Storm. Merce picked some darn good music here. Let's go to Devin from Florida. Devin, how are you, my man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Calling in from Mount Dora, Florida. My man Jeff had turned me onto your show.
Oh.
Well, my dog and I actually turned us both onto it.
Nice.
And now we got to listen to you every day, man. Absolutely love it.
You're not in the Villages, are you?
Oh, man. I wish I was. Sometimes seeing the partying that goes on there. I'm just
Where are you at, Devin? What's that town again?
So it's called Mount Dora. It's just north of Orlando, south of the Villages. Great little town, fun place.
Neat.
Got all kinds of stuff going on there. Not quite the Villages, though.
Well, I thought they didn't let Jeff out of the Villages. I thought he had to stay there. He was quarantined.
I don't think he wants to get out of there. That's the thing.
Well, Devin, we love having you on board down there in Florida. We love it.
Absolutely, man. Spreading the word. You're fighting the good fight. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And Florida's already won most of that fight, but we play this song my man Mark Mayer turned me on to. The battle is over, but the war goes on. Right?
That's it, baby. That's it.
Never trust them. Thank you, Devin. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Check in
take
again.
Care.
Check in again. We love having you on board. All right. Yeah, that's great stuff. And we've got listeners all over the country, which is fun. Because there's different perspectives upon much of what we're saying here. And that fires me up. It does. Somebody texts in, every listener out there, just imagine President AOC with her zero foreign policy knowledge right now in time of war. This is what the Democrat Party and liberal media promotes on an hourly basis. Total insanity and American defeated in front of the whole world. That's what they want. That's what they want. It shocks me. It hurts me. It's painful. And even those who don't hate the country are espousing policies and voting for people who do. And the demise in the policies is inevitable. It's undeniable. If we didn't take Iran out now, all right, so now they hold 20% of the world's energy. And by the way, it goes past that because fertilizer itself is a problem, particularly for our farmers this year. What if they held us hostage? What would they do next? Hey, we're going to use our nuclear weapon if you don't do whatever. AOC, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris in the White House, capitulation is guaranteed. It's insane. Yeah, AOC. She's actually one of the leading candidates. And then greasy Gavin Newsom is another leading contender. And Kamala's, she's actually leading in the polls on the Democrat side. You know how stupid you have to be to support any one of them? You have to literally take complete leave of your senses. And again, I don't care what you think about Donald Trump as a person. What about the policies? It's only common sense. Unbelievable. Somebody says, hi, Bob LTS. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Imagine today's media covering a press conference after the Normandy invasion. General Eisenhower, it's been reported, 8 French civilians were killed during the invasion. Can you assure us steps have been taken that this wouldn't happen again? Today's legacy media seems to be more activists than objective reporters, says Rich from West Pittston. You're right. Now, somebody on the opposite side, Bob, this war rhetoric is marching this country into perdition. Well, you just don't know what you're talking about. See, it's this simple. It really is. You find evil. Now, they've proven it over 47 years of their reign. So we know they're evil. And anybody denies that, then you can't go further with a normal conversation. Okay, so what do we do about evil? What are the choices? Well, there's no reforming them. We've observed them over 47 years, killing Americans, fomenting disorder, driving towards a military supremacy that could be unchallenged, driving towards a nuclear bomb which they would use and said they would. So we're confronted with sustained evil, crushing their own people. Are you getting it? 32 to 35,000 Iranians were killed. And by the way, they didn't dispose of the bodies. They saved the bodies for public relations if the United States attacked and Israel attacked. What do you do with evil? You crush it. You kill it. They're the ones not giving you the choice. Where are you even coming from? This is, without the same level of power, at least at this point, but they would have been Hitler, Mao, Stalin. That's the theocracy in charge of Iran. Pure, unadulterated evil. The only thing you could do is stick your head in the sand till they're killing you and your family, or kill them. That's the choice. It's that stark. It's that simple. It's that straightforward. Sorry. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, this day, as with every day. Loyally, patriotically, dutifully brought to you by our man John Basiliga. Today, we feature just one of his great companies, and it is one of his best, without doubt, and one of his most important in his mind and mine. Serenity Care, a personal care community created because John has a passion for providing the highest quality senior care in this region and beautiful personal care homes for seniors to live in. All 4 personal care locations run by Serenity Care have been completely renovated inside and out, accepting new residents. There are 4 locations in the Mid-Valley in a town called Jessup, Old Forge, Wyoming, Kingston, Dementia Care Services at the Mid-Valley and Kingston locations. A place you'd be proud to live or have a family member. Serenity Care, personal care community. Here's a guy I knew since I came back to town. Hank Platt. Henry Lathrop Plant. He passed away at his home in North Branford, Connecticut, February 25th. He was 95. Born in Brooklyn, New York, he grew up in Glenburn. A proud alumnus of the Hill School, Princeton University, and the University of Arizona. He served all of us honorably in the Coast Guard, stationed on Ellis Island in New York City. His professional career began when he joined the family business, the Scranton Electric Construction Company, where he served in multiple positions, rising to president in the mid-'70s. Hank met his future wife, Barbara, on a tennis court in Madison, Connecticut. They married in 1960 and lived together in Waverly, PA for 53 years, where they raised their 3 adoring children. Hank was very active in the community. Multiple boards, Boys and Girls Club, Greater Scranton YMCA, Johnson Tech, Northeastern Bank, Lackawanna Industrial Enterprises Fund, and more. A vibrant mix of energy and warmth. He could be seen biking around Madison, Connecticut in the summer to pick up the paper and touch base with the locals. In 2013, Hank and Barbara moved to Evergreen Woods Retirement Community in North Branford, Connecticut, where they enjoyed making friends, and Hank became active on the Employee Scholarship Fund Committee. Hank and Barbara were passionate bridge partners. And even after her passing, Hank continued to play into his 96th year. Surviving his sister Barbara in Glenburn, loving children, 4 beloved grandchildren, and other family members. A guy I always looked up to, Henry Hank Platt. Our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Serenity Care, the personal care community in Northeast PA. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain, where the fun, it sort of never ends. And that's the way we like it. Today, cloudy, windy, much colder with a couple of snow showers this afternoon, 34 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, 21. Tomorrow, some sunshine giving way to clouds, high 38, low 29. Thursday, mostly cloudy, high 46, low 34. Friday, cloudy, high 53, low 36. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. We're looking at the possibility of 57 degrees with a low of 44. Let's hope all of that comes true. That's your weather, brought to you by our great friends at Montage Mountain Resort. I don't know why Murph picked this song. Is it an Irish band, Thin Lizzy? It's a cute song. It's a fun song. The boys are back in town, Thin Lizzy. Well, guess who else is back? Tyler Crawford from Montage Mountain. Tyler, talk to me. What is happening up there? Where are we at?
We're in a weird spot right now between winter and spring. But you know what that means? There's still time for skiing. We'll be open Thursday through Sunday this week for another weekend of skiing and snowboarding.
Okay, so Thursday through Sunday, but we're doing a little reconnoitering right now, right?
Yeah, that's right. The lows tonight, tomorrow, they look great for some mid-March snowmaking. So we're going to take advantage of every opportunity, every single hour that we get with good temperatures and fire up those guns, put some more snow back out there, and hopefully give it another weekend.
And Tyler, you and I talked about this. I've literally never downhill skied. I've cross country, which I love, but this warm weather, or moderate weather, is perfect for skiing. Like, especially as we head to this weekend and we're in the high 40s, low 50s.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You know, skiing's like it's like food. If you're hungry, any food is good, and if you're in the mood for skiing, any skiing is good. And while it's different, spring skiing is quite a bit different than midwinter skiing. It still gets that fix. I prefer it more, if I'm being honest. There's a little something for everyone in a spring day, and we're looking forward to bringing it back to life.
You had a big snowboard event last weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was awesome. People came from all over the Northeast, really, to compete for a $4,000 prize in our new terrain park area, and it drew quite a crowd on a really, really nice day. And we were happy to host that event, and we were just talking this morning about how to bring something like that back for the future.
Yeah. So, all right. So Thursday we reopen at Montage, unless something goes crazy. You just let me know.
Right.
But Thursday,
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a big weekend for skiing and
weekend.
snowboarding. I love it.
That's it. Absolutely. We will be there.
All right. Tyler Crawford, Montage Mountain, our friends. And I'm telling you, it's a place for winter fun, but pretty soon it'll be spring fun, right?
That's right. We've got more to talk about right around the corner with the spring fun.
All right, my man. Thank you. And maybe you call us again later this week just to remind us what the conditions are and that you're ready for action this weekend.
You got it. Absolutely.
All right, Tyler Crawford, Montage Mountain. We'll take a break and be back. The Devil's Dance Floor. Murph tells us that's from Flogging Molly. He also told me the Thin Lizzy is an Irish band. So we'll accept it. We accept anything he gives us. He's our music guy. That's just it. That's what is. My friend Nikki D sent in the St. Patrick's Prayer. So I will dutifully read it. St. Patrick's Prayer. Christ with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me, Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ when I lie down, Christ when I sit, Christ when I stand, Christ in the heart of everyone who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me, Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. That from St. Patrick. Amen. Amen, Nikki. Thank you for that. Let's go to the blower. We got Mike from Duryea. Hi, Mike.
Christ in the heart of
Mike.
everyone who thinks of me.
Mike, you got to turn the radio down, my man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's on delay.
That's what it is. I'm sorry. You know,
okay.
I brought up there earlier. I don't know if your listeners were listening, but during World War II, all those V2 rockets landed in London, and I guess these people I'm watching their whatever they call it, their Congress or whatever they get together in England. You know, the whatever, they're sitting around debating the Iranian war, and I guess they forget about World War II. But the question I have to you is Israel part of the UN?
Yes.
Committees, yeah. So why? One of the resolutions in the UN says that if any country gets attacked, they all should get together and help that country.
Well, you know the UN is useless. It's completely
I know
useless.
It's crazy. I mean, Israel's been bombarded by missiles and people have been killed for a long time. Forget about the 47 years or whatever it is, but they've been bombarded, killed, bus bombed. I mean, you know, death to Israel, and none of these UN countries, especially England or the UK, whatever they call themselves, they don't want to get involved. I just don't understand it. Help me out.
Well, just think what they're run by the Labor Party. The Labor Party is as bad or worse than today's Democrat Party. It's almost hard to believe, but it's sadly true.
I mean, even like he says, the V2 rockets from Germany to England, you know, that alone would say that's enough for Iran. You know, but that
the story of Hitler or of evil, our confrontation with evil, which has been constant in mankind, is that of those
for history,
who
for
continually back down and fear it, and then fortunately those who attack it. Thank you, Michael. Bloomberg Money Minute at 10:50 on my Bacardo's watch. That's Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Irish celebration, Murph tells us. Bob Cordaro back. Somebody had texted in. I can't find the exact text. But the point was the disgrace that Ireland's government is and how it's destroying the country, and to pray for Ireland. Well, in our one of my text groups, Club for Common Sense, somebody texted in. This is Shannon St. Patrick's Day, so this is Shannon Island. We invite you to join the parade and celebrate your country. Play your country's music. Wear your national colors. Dance, wave flags, and celebrate your culture for St. Patrick's Day. They've gone insane. And they've got these multicultural cartoons and a rainbow and flags from every country. Ireland's is last. They're in serious trouble in Ireland. It says our citywide program invites everyone to come together and experience the festival in a new way. Because just like roots, when people connect and grow together, something truly beautiful happens. Yeah, from truly stupid, disgusting people. And T-Bell points out and sends me a picture. The parasite president of Ireland can't even bring herself to say St. Patrick and just refers to the patron saint of Ireland as Patrick. They're destroying a beautiful country. A country and a culture that helped make this country great is being destroyed before our eyes, just like the rest of Europe. Will they find their way before complete destruction? It's insane. I had this discussion with a lefty. I said, when you tell someone they can't honor their own deal, you are excluding him in your bullspit inclusion. Remember, the inclusion excludes everything outside of the lunacy. It's unbelievable. It's disgusting. On the same vein, with the same idiocy, somebody texted in, Bob, I was surfing all the news channels. Everyone except Fox News has the same narratives of America being defeated and promoting the defeat of this great country that all our beloved veterans died for at Normandy Beach and other wars for our freedom. This is not free speech when you promote and denounce your own freedoms. It's communism, and the liberal media news networks need to stop or be forced to. That part I don't go with you. I don't go all the way with you. You have the right to be stupid. You have the right to lie. But we have the right to ignore you. And we have the beautiful St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City, and they've got a communist mayor who despises everything the Irish Catholic culture has to offer. He did not even attend the induction of a new archbishop. Somebody says, make Ireland great again. Conor McGuigan's trying, the fighter. I got to tell you, it is frightening. And think of this. This is why I love him, despite his many flaws. Donald Trump almost single-handedly is holding back the left-wing lunatic hordes that want to destroy American culture, that want to destroy America as a force for good in the world. And the sad part, our success is so obvious compared to the rest of the planet. And they want to destroy that. See, these are the people who destroy a train set after it's built, who come and knock the Lego village down. That's all they know. They cannot build. They cannot create. And then they get a bunch of fools to blindly follow them. There's perdition for you. There is perdition. We'll take a break. We'll be back. It's St. Patty's Day, at least here. We'll be back after the news. You know it does. It'll never end with these clowns. Great good morning, everyone. My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 11:09 and change here in the great Northeast. This beautiful, what's it, Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, St. Patrick's Day, at least here in Northeast Pennsylvania. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and his great Serenity Care personal care community, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John, like Hank Platt, late of Connecticut, but he was from Waverly. Charles Free, Kingston, and James Casso, Hazleton. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our commitment to common sense is so deep, so robust, that we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for you in a world where the left has gone mad and taken over the American Democrat Party. I want to go back to Ireland for a moment. My friend Timmy Mack sent this to me. Wicklow and District Lion Club making a mockery of St. Patrick's Day. Now, since 1903, St. Patrick's Day has been an official religious and cultural public holiday to commemorate St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. The audacity of the Wicklow and District Lion Club to insult the Irish people by listen to this. They renamed St. Patrick's Day Integration Day, encouraging people to bring their own national flag to join the parade in Wicklow. Join the pride, it says. Lions on parade. Tuesday, March 17th, 2:30 p.m. Lion suits provided, first come, first serve. Important, it says. Bring your native national flag. They say this is an Integration Day event. All ages, all nationalities, absolutely everyone is welcome. Well, they were before, scumbags. They were welcome before. But to celebrate Irish heritage, which happens to be the damn country. God, that's disgusting. That is so disgusting. Wow. It's beyond... Somebody says, I was going to say don't knock Ireland down. There's people out there fighting for them, and they're not going out without swinging like Conor McGregor. So says Lee. Oh, man, they got a lot of work to do. You got sick bastards in charge of Ireland. Really sick people. Somebody texted in, make Ireland great again. Please, make it great again. The font of so much of America's strength and culture is a disgrace because of their government and local governments and left-wing lunatics who have been allowed to take charge. Somebody else, 2 stories of liberal insanity. Boston, ICE protesters blocking agents from picking up an illegal alien wanted for child rape and other offenses in El Salvador, who came here illegally. Man, they should pound the snot out of them. I'm sorry. Pound the snot out of these idiots. Hey, they're getting paid. Take a beating for your money, you scumbags. The listener continues, and the Loon, Virginia governor contemplates releasing from custody the criminal alien who stabbed the woman to death at the bus stop. These people are insane and could care less about the safety of the citizens, and that's a fact. Maybe the Green Ridge Neighborhood Association will welcome in these 2 criminals. Well, we've got something to say to the Green Ridge Neighborhood Association. Biden banner disgrace, day 93. The Greenridge Neighborhood Association in Scranton has placed a Hometown Heroes banner in the name of Joe Biden. Hometown Heroes banner are for military veterans only. And they will not take it down. And they are a disgrace. When they were asked to take it down, the vote was 10-5 to keep the banner up. Now we say, I don't care how stupid you are, put up any banner to Joe Biden you want and disgrace yourself with the association. The worst president in history. But do not debase our veterans. Biden banner disgrace, day 93. Contact the Greenridge Neighborhood Association and tell them take the banner down. Ugh. See, that's where you go to next. That's where you go next. Yeah, don't let these ICE protesters paid by billionaire haters of this country, let them stop law enforcement from doing its job. Virginia has another situation. An illegal alien groping young girls. But he's free because of Virginia's sick, twisted governor. She's a sick, sick person. She's mentally ill. That's who these people are. And that insanity, by the way, it doesn't go far. They're voting for Joe Biden. They're voting for Kamala Harris right here in our midst. They have been elected a bunch of left-wing lunatics who are now the majority on the Luzerne County Council. The battle is over, but the war goes on. These people aren't going away. They seek destruction of everything great about America and everything great about this area. This is their goal, destruction. That's all they know. Ginny C's asking us to pray for her. Her health is not good. We are praying for you, dear. We love you. Bob, I researched the countries that are no longer supporters of the United States, like the United Kingdom. Guess why? Because their immigration policies, now up to 20% of their population are from radical countries like Iran, Afghanistan, and all. And now they're afraid of uprising in their homeland. So much for open borders. They all promoted. They're now losing complete control of their own freedoms and government, which are now at stake. Yeah, there's Sharia law throughout Great Britain. The country may be lost. Ireland may be lost. Joe from Trip Spark says, we can never give our military enough credit for the outstanding job in Iran. Iran spent over 40 years preparing their defenses and spent billions on top-notch Soviet, Chinese, in-house systems. Our military dismantled in a matter of hours. History is being made. Amen. Bob, I pray to God every day your words of common sense and courage reach the mountaintops of every mountain around the world. LTS. And they're not my words. I'm mouthing common sense versus pure, unadulterated insanity from people who know better or should, but don't care to. Wow. St. Patrick's Day as Integration Day in Ireland. I can't think of anything more sickening. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. The Pogues. Murph gave us this one. Dirty Old Town. And back during the Obama administration, Russian President Vladimir Putin recognizes Ukraine, Crimean Peninsula as an independent and sovereign country, ignoring sanctions imposed by the United States and European countries. Of course he would. This date, 2014. Oh, my word. And FHL sends to me something we all know. Obama and Biden funded Iran, which funded Hamas, which funded Hezbollah, which funded the Houthis. Pure evil. We let them have hundreds of billions of dollars. Pure evil. What do you call that? My God. Bill from Pittston. How are you, Bill?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. I'll tell you, it's crazy. I love history as you do, and I'll tell you, England right now it hasn't been a superpower, questionably, since the Falklands and Maggie Thatcher. But they cannot get enough people to join the military. They have no funding for the military. They couldn't defend the Thames if their life depended on it. And as I said, they're certainly not a superpower under this new prime minister that if you even say Muslims wear funny hats, you could be put in jail.
Yep.
And the thing is, it's so sad.
By the way,
to think
just
of
to our
this
North
country.
Canada, my man Frank sent me. A guy was fined $750,000 for merely saying there are only two sexes.
Oh my God. Oh,
Two
well, wonders never cease.
$750,000 for a Christian teacher.
It's unbelievable. Who could think that this stuff would happen? And when you compare this to the Churchillian England, that this guy, that land stood alone against the Nazis, and compare them to today, they will be eradicated very soon because the population, the Muslim population, and other foreigners are rapidly overtaking the current British society, and the culture was known throughout history. Even John Cleese, who was a liberal, said England's not England anymore, and he booked out of there. And I think it's going to be just in a couple generations, and the England of history will be gone.
Well, and it goes beyond that. It's all of Western Europe.
Yep.
And you know that's what our left and our Democrat Party wants also. They want the eradication of the American culture, which is, think about it. I mean, the people that came together into this amazing melting pot and created a uniquely American culture which respected the culture of everyone else while being its own thing. And now the Irish themselves are destroying Irish culture in Ireland. Wow.
Oh, yes. I know when I was over there a few years ago, I was with a taxi driver. He was talking about the immigration problem, too, and he said he'd never thought he'd be so prejudiced about immigrants, but he said they're destroying our country.
Yeah.
And I was flabbergasted.
Crazy stuff. Bill, always a pleasure. Go ahead.
Can I just say one thing? I called Mark Warner's office, and I talked to one of his aides, and I said, is it true that you actually proposed investigating the conflict in Iran? Did he do this? He said, well, he wanted to get some questions. So in the middle of a conflict, the senator is actually
He's become a disgrace. He's become a disgrace. He was one of the normal Democrats. He's now gone over the edge because he sees who gets elected in Virginia now.
Well, he was stuttering the whole time. I said, tell me this isn't true. I said, that's borderline treason. You hear me? I said, borderline treason.
Yep.
And I said, I think you even agree with me. I said, you can't even give me a straight answer. And he goes, well, he was just stuttering. And I said, the American people aren't going to put up with this because we have boots on if we have people in conflict, and if any of them are killed or demoralized, it's on his head.
Amen. Thank you, Bill. Jim from Hazleton. How are you, Jim?
Good, Bob. How are you?
Great.
So, two quick things. to caller Joe earlier, I like to do a test for some of them Democrats that think that way. You should get a bunch of different quotes from all the different leaders, Donald Trump and all them guys that make sense, and then ask them how they feel about it. And when you tell them Donald Trump said it, let's see how they backpedal and change their mind about it. But the main thing I tried to call yesterday was I was listening to Fox News and Shannon Bream's show was on, and she actually said that in 1940, FDR, he had a fireside chat, and in 1940, he was advocating for the U.S. to get into World War II, and whether it was the country or the politics of it pushed back on it. So I wonder how many families from Pearl Harbor would want to go back in time and try to fix that problem of pushing my point is about them kicking the can, and eventually something bad's going to happen.
And it's exactly what is on Trump's mind and his foreign policy gang is that this will lead to worse if we don't stop it now. And thank God they have, and thank God they will. They'll be successful. Thank you, Jim. Jim from Harding. How are you, Jim?
Pretty good. Just make a comment about ICE. Isn't it amazing how all these Democrats are fighting tooth and nail to keep these pedophiles in this country? They're committing these crimes right in the present, but they're going back 20 years with the Epstein files. You know, isn't that amazing?
The idiot who texted in yesterday that Trump attacked her around to distract from the Epstein files, which he's not even a part of.
Yep.
I mean, other than Epstein wanting to cause trouble for Trump because he'd been blackballed. Yeah, I mean, amazing.
Yeah. And one more thing about St. Patty's. Was it true that he drove the snakes out of Ireland?
So they say. That's the lore.
So why can't we get him to come here and drive all? No, we'll have him come here in America and drive all the snakes out of the Democratic Party.
I wish we could, Jim. I wish it was that easy.
They're
Where's
crazy.
St. Patrick when you need him?
Oh, man.
He's got to work on Ireland first. They're destroying themselves.
Yeah. And then all our allies over there, you know, like, hey, when they need our hands, we should just turn our backs on them.
Well, they will, by the way. But no, they are going to be the new Iran. They're going to be the new Islamic insanity. They really are. That's where they're headed. And by the way, a lot of places in this country, too.
Oh, yeah. All these Democrats, they listen to CNN, MS. Now they're drinking a Jim Jones Kool-Aid.
Yep. And our country's at risk. Thank you, Jim. Always a pleasure, man. We've got to go because we've got to hear our great sponsors. We'll come back with a Veterans Tribute, the weather, and more. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute brought to you, as always, by John Basiliga. Today featuring just another one of his great companies, Serenity Care, a personal care community that is the gold standard in Northeast Pennsylvania. Why? Because John has a passion for providing the highest quality senior care in this region and providing beautiful personal care homes for seniors to live in. Second to none. 4 locations in the Mid-Valley of Lackawanna County, the Jessup, Old Forge, Wyoming, Kingston. All 4 of these locations have been completely renovated inside and out, accepting new residents. Dementia care units at the Mid-Valley, Jessup, and Kingston locations. The gold standard for senior care in Northeast PA. Serenity Care, personal care community. James Casso. He was 89 when we lost him March 8th. He was from Hazleton. He lived at the Laurel Senior Living Community for his last 5 years, surrounded by care and companionship. Born and raised in Hazleton. A proud graduate of Hazleton High School, class of 1954. After graduation, he dedicated 4 years of service to this country in the United States Navy, 1954 to 1958. Following military service, James embarked on a long and devoted career with the United States Postal Service, where he worked for 35 years. He was known for his steady reliability, strong work ethic, and commitment to his community, just like so many of our veterans. He had simple pleasures: recreational softball, bowling. Preceded in death, in addition to his parents, by his wife, Rosemarie, his siblings. But he survived by family he loved deeply. His children, their significant others, 4 cherished grandchildren, a brother, and a sister. James Casso, our veteran, and the tribute this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Serenity Care, personal care community. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain, who tell you the skiing will be on, the snowboarding will be on, the fun will be on, including the tents and the fire pits all weekend starting Thursday. AccuWeather tells us today cloudy, windy, much colder, couple of snow showers this afternoon, about 34 degrees, 30 outside right now. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 21. Tomorrow, some sunshine, giving way to clouds, 38 degrees on Wednesday, low 29. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 46, down to 34 as a low. Friday, cloudy, high 53, the low 36. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, 57, low 44. So the skiing and the snowboarding will be solid this weekend. That's your weather report, brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain Resort. Well, you know what that means, this theme song. It means Tina Morocco's here. Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International in the Broad Avenue office, Naples, Florida. She is your trusted entree to all of Florida real estate, especially Southwest Florida. And here is our gal, Tina Morocco. Hi, Tina.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
We seem to start you with a little chuckle every day. I know I have
course.
one. And with our sort of lousy weather here, although it's good for montage, with our lousy weather here, it's good to think about Florida.
It's good to think about sunshine and summertime weather.
Yes. So what's on your mind today, Tina?
So yesterday I was just thinking about what I was going to talk about today, and Dominic and I were actually sitting on the Naples Bay. We live right on the Naples Bay, and we were watching the tour boats go past. And I don't think we've talked about boating as like a lifestyle if you want to buy like a house with like a boat slip in the backyard. But there's so many places here that you can come if you live here or if you're visiting here, that you can rent boats or go on boat tours. And I mean, it's actually unbelievable how many different things you can do on the water here.
Yeah.
So just out in the Naples Bay, we have a tour boat that takes you out to Keewaydin Island that's specific for shelling. So they let people off and, they have somebody that guides you kind of like a shell collecting tour, which is a lot of fun. And then we also have all the fishing boats that go out. We have the deep sea fishing, and then we have one that doesn't go out quite so far. We have the Naples Princess, which is a yacht. It's a luxury yacht tour that goes, you can have dinner on it, you can have lunch on it, they have breakfast, they have yoga, they have all kinds of events. They have charity events on it with live music, but it just goes from the Naples Bay out to the Gulf, and then it turns around. It's kind of like a slow cruise, but I mean, the scenery is absolutely stunning. It's nice to be on the water. Yeah. And then we have ones that go through, we have one that's called the Double Sunshine that goes through Port Royal, all the beautiful, majestic houses. It goes in the canals, and it talks about, who lives there. Mostly it's a lot of like the CEOs and, titans of industry, really.
Neat. So it goes in the canal too.
Yeah, it goes back into the canals where the waterfront houses are, and the tour guide will point out, here's where so and so lives, here's where, this is the person, this is the story behind this house. So it's a lot of fun to hear kind of behind the scenes what goes on there and who's building what.
I always wonder when last time I was in Naples, we did, a friend of ours had a boat, like a real expensive boat. And we went out on the bay, and we were driving by. We went from basically Naples, Fifth Avenue to not the Four Seasons, but the Ritz-Carlton. And I'm saying,
in North Naples.
I can't believe how many people are smarter than me.
Yeah, because those boats are not inexpensive.
Well, the houses. I'm looking at the houses, and I'm looking at the condos and the buildings and the homes, and I'm saying, man, this is success, smacking you right in the face.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary. It's fun to see.
But I also say this. There's people who work there who live there. So there's housing at every price point, even in Naples.
Exactly. And, I had first-time home buyers, and then I have people that have 4 or 5 houses. So it's really, there's a diversity of, home buying experience here is pretty diverse here.
That's neat. So you said there was something else you were going to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So in addition to the rentals with just the boat tours and stuff, you can rent paddle boards, kayaks, jet skis, all different kinds of jet skis. They have these kayaks now that you paddle with your feet that have sunshades on them, so you can be on the water for a long time. It's kind of neat. And then it's just all different price points. And so I'm talking about Naples, but then, they have the same in Fort Myers. They have the same in Charlotte Harbor and Punta Gorda. Down in Marco Island, they have a Marco Island Princess, so they have that same yacht that goes out, that goes along the waterways of Marco. it's just, there's a lot to do here. Even if you don't have a boat in your backyard, you can still enjoy the water.
Right, I would not be a person for a boat, but we've got a lot of boat people up here, the Paw Pack and everywhere else, and they know their stuff about boats. They know how to drive them. They know how to navigate all those kinds of things. Coast Guard licenses. There's just so much to do down there, and it's available year round. On top of that.
Definitely. Well, I can't wait to explore the lakes in Scranton. I haven't been on the water in Scranton yet.
Well, if coming from there, you might be a little disappointed, but they're pretty good.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
They're a lot of fun, that I can tell you.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Well, thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina Morocco. Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com, or you could reach her as a global sales advisor at Sotheby's International in Naples, Florida. You always bring sunshine our way. Thank you, Tina.
Thanks, Bob. Take care.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. This is for Jersey Devil. He says it's not St. Patty's Day for him without it. So why not? Thank you for that, Jersey Devil. But we got to play the standards. Irish Eyes Are Smiling by Bing Crosby. Well, we had to play a couple of Bing Crosbys, and we're finishing. The Bulldog insisted on this. He's a Celtic Woman fan, and Murph acceded to the request. Celtic Woman, Danny Boy, not a better song to finish with on St. Patrick's Day. By the way, lest you be disturbed about the insanity and intransigence of the fools who call themselves leaders, today's gospel, Jesus he heals a paralyzed man. He'd been paralyzed and ill for 38 years. And the Jewish leaders were infuriated. They see the healed man, and their first response is, "It is the Sabbath. It is not lawful for you to carry your mat." The idiocy of the human condition takes us all the way back as we finish up here. The Sue Henry Show next. Rob O'Donnell after that. I'm going to gavel to a close now so we can listen to the music, because we are adjourned in the Club for Common Sense. And God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow at 9.